Hello, everyone. My name is John Dunbar, and this is my presentation over the case study we're doing for school law, EDL 850, entitled Internet Use Violations. First thing we start out with is to identify the problem that was presented to us. First thing that was presented to us was a description of the school involved. This is called Slattery Stenold High School, and we're told how it's in an affluent area of a large city. Parents are professionals, doctors, lawyers, and such. For those of us in Kansas, it sounds a lot like the Blue Valley School District. The principal, his name is Dr. Smith, been there 9 years. He's well respected in the community, well respected by the staff and the school board. He hired a teacher who's in her second year at the school, and this is also her second year of teaching. Dr. Smith prides himself on hiring the best, and she was well qualified as a master's, but she is a new teacher, and she's still learning a lot. So she has high expectations, and the students are feeling a lot of pressure. Some of them are getting their first bad grades, which I'm sure in their mind a B is probably a bad grade. So parents are starting to call Dr. Smith and complaining about her as well. So she goes home for the weekend to her parents' house, and she gets this unidentified email. And it tells her to look at this Facebook page. So she looks at this Facebook page, and it's very critical of her, and she thinks there's threatening language, and it's making fun of her, and so she's upset. So she calls the principal at home, and they discuss. She sends the information to him so he can look at it, and so she's real upset. Something needs to be done. So he agrees, and we'll talk about it in the morning. So to identify what is going on here, I'd say the things we got to look at is what we don't know. First of all, we don't know who created this web page. We don't know where the email came from. And Dr. Smith asked her if she could think of any students that might do something like this. Well, she suggested a student that someone she's not getting along with, or she thinks doesn't like her, and she thinks he's real technical. But the truth of the matter is she doesn't know. She doesn't have any evidence. And so another thing we don't know is, are there other students? She only mentions the one. Are there other students that are unhappy that might do something like this? Or their parents that might do something like this? So we don't know if those technical staff is able to trace this or not, but that's be the first thing I'd have them do. Okay? So identifying the problem then, I'd say the teacher feels threatened, we've got to address it. And students and parents alike have a negative view of Miss Tate. And at the present time, we don't have any evidence of who did this. We don't even know if it's a student. It could be a parent. And based on this information, we really can't even classify this as a threat, I don't feel, even though the teacher feels it is. But it's obvious some people in the district would like to see Miss Tate find another job, based on one of the things that was said on this Facebook page. So my plan of action, what I suggest is, first of all, we got to keep the superintendent informed, okay? Make sure he knows, and maybe even the board if he wants us to talk to them. But the first thing then is to have the technical staff do some research, see if they can trace down who sent that email and who created that Facebook page and posted it. And then as soon as you can, you start talking to people on the staff, talk to other teachers or staff members, school secretaries, see if you can get any information who might have done this, or if they know, maybe somebody has a hint. Also, I'd say you can look at the Facebook page, see who's following, see who's making comments. And because you got to find a lead, you got to start somewhere have some credible information. So I do all that without the teacher getting involved. You need to do some research. It's very important. This is handled well. The future success of this teacher is on the line, really. The reputation of the teacher and the principal really are at stake on how you handle this. Okay, so now resolution. First thing I think we should be able to determine, the technical staff ought to be able to determine some information where the email came from or who created this web page. And once you know that information, then it depends on if it's a student. Okay, you meet with the student again without the teacher. She's too emotionally involved, I think. So meet with the student, find out what they're thinking, what they hope to accomplish, explain to them how wrong this is, and how this is not the way to handle a situation like this. And I think it merits giving the student an in-school suspension, a day in-school suspension, and help them reflect on their actions so they can be better in the future. Now, if it's a parent, I think we get, talk to the superintendent and maybe the board. I think the parent would deserve a letter from the school, official letter stating that all communications teacher would be to the principal. Cut off their communication at school other than just through the principal, and explain in that letter that they're going to block any communication, explain that what they did was defamation, and they could be facing legal problems. And then, so finally, make sure you keep everybody informed, keep the teacher informed throughout the process. I don't think that it would be good to have the teacher involved. She's too emotionally involved. It'd be best that you could handle this for the most part without having her involved, I believe. Okay, next we debrief the problem, reflect upon what we did here. And first, to talk about my thoughts and feelings, the first thing I thought, this is really, it doesn't appear to be a serious threat at this point, and this could be a student or a parent, we really don't know. And I kept thinking, as a principal, I would need to work with this teacher, help her improve on communications, try to help her develop better relationships with students and parents. As a school, you got to ask, have we enabled the idea that everyone deserves high grades? Maybe that's a problem. Maybe everybody's getting higher grades than they should be. So that's something to look at. Again, I thought, you kept thinking the teacher needs help. She's a beginning teacher, and she's obviously not getting the point across that how important the grades are. I'm sure the kids could work harder than they are. But anyway, maybe the truth of the matter, maybe the parents are reasonable. Maybe the students and parents have reasonable complaints here. Maybe she is too hard. So anyway, next thing, look at some unresolved issues. We don't know who's posting these to Facebook. We don't know who sent the email at this point. We don't even know if it's the same person. And we don't know how, there may be other postings out there we don't know about. Or maybe this has been going on for a while. And is it just a few students involved, or are there lots of people involved? So, and maybe the principals, he's been hearing from parents complaints. Okay, maybe we don't know how many he's heard from. And so it makes me think, I wonder if the school board members are hearing things too, or the superintendent's hearing things. So those are just some of the things we don't know. Next, we were to talk about how we handle this with fairness and integrity. And how we handled things. And so, acting with fairness, I didn't overreact to the situation. I didn't make any assumptions. Okay, and so I think we should evaluate the effectiveness of the teacher. Is she being fair to students? Are the students and parents' concerns, maybe they're reasonable. So I think all that shows acting in fairness. And then acting in an ethical manner. I think my proposed plan of action is fair to all concerned. I didn't jump to any conclusions about who created the Facebook page. I want to make sure that whoever was responsible for this inappropriate Facebook post was made aware that this kind of behavior wouldn't be tolerated. And my goal was to make those responsible understand this isn't good for the students here at Slattery Steno High School. It's not the best way to handle things. Okay, and if you have complaints, you need to go to the administration, not spreading rumors around on social media. And I was constantly thinking about how I could help teacher be more accepted by the students and parents, how I can help her create a better environment, more conducive to building relationships and getting along better with the students. So that concludes my presentation. Thank you for watching.